What if I told you the dragon text messages that Blake sent to Justin was actually a collaboration? Not just with Ryan, but with Ryan and Taylor. Let's get into it.
Dragon?
Yeah, maybe like you kind of have Mother of Dragon hair going.
Let's go back to April 2023. So April 12th was the infamous apartment meeting where Taylor happened to show up and was raving about the rooftop scene. Now, the week before that, April 8th, is when everyone found out that Taylor and Joe had broken up. But later on, Joe said that when the announcement came out, they had only broken up the week prior. So we're assuming the last week of March is when they had broken up, somewhere in there. Why is that important? Well, the first outing that Taylor did as a public PR outing to let everyone know she's totally fine, she doesn't care about the breakup, was April 10th, the same week that the apartment meeting happened. Let's keep going, shall we? So the following day, so the 13th, 14th, and 15th, Taylor had to go on to her Eras tour and was touring in Florida. She had a 3-day set going on. The following week, she had 2 separate outings, with one with Blake and Ryan, and the following day with Blake and all of her girlfriends. And that's the same week that everyone ended up unfollowing Joe. Now let's look at the dragon text for a second. So not only did she send the text talking about, if you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons. For better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. Right before that text, she had sent a 2-paragraph rant about how Ryan and Taylor were pushing her to own her credit, own her work, and just have authorship over what she does, and not be such a yes man. So she said at one point, so I guess I have to stop worrying about people liking me. Girl, isn't that what this whole smear campaign is about? So what's my point in all of this? When you read the text with the dragon part after her whole rant, you notice that why is she bringing up Game of Thrones? Out of everything, this is completely unrelated. Or is it? Blake is not a Game of Thrones fan, but Ryan and Taylor are. So when we go back to the calendar, more than likely after Justin left, Blake, Ryan, and Taylor all had a powwow, laughing it up about how the meeting went with Justin, and came up with a game plan of what Blake should say to him next, the next time she speaks with him. And so that's where you get these references. And here's why. So first, we're going to go into Ryan's obsession with Game of Thrones.
My husband is, I'm just outing him, I shouldn't. But he became obsessed and just like, did everything he could to like pirate episodes that hadn't even been shot yet.
There have been many articles talking about Ryan's obsession with Game of Thrones. And one of them stated that he is a Game of Thrones super fan. He's getting that title. And Ryan is quoted saying, quote, "It's no secret I'm a Game of Thrones nut. I'm addicted. There's nothing I wouldn't do to get my next fix."
I have to sneak in your Game of Thrones. I know you're a big fan. We've got some big scenes coming up. I'm not saying anything.
I missed one. I'm 1 episode down.
Ryan and Taylor watched Game of Thrones way before Blake ever did. And you can tell that she really just was not into it.
Blake, are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Not yet, but I'm really scared because everyone that I meet, it's not really like a fan. It's a lifestyle.
Exactly.
It's a life choice. So I haven't made that life choice yet.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to. And everyone I know is like, oh, I'll watch every episode with you again for you. And I'm like, no, it's just for you,
right,
because you guys are so obsessed.
Notice how she says because you guys want to watch it, plural. Ryan and Taylor were wanting her to watch the show. Taylor is such a huge fan of Game of Thrones that she said that Game of Thrones inspired her album Reputation. Taylor stated that so much of her imagination came from Game of Thrones, and that these songs were half based on what she was going through, but seeing them in a Game of Thrones filter. Some of the examples that she gave was she said that the track King of My Heart was influenced by the Mother of Dragons. She also said that her song Look What You Made Me Do was very Cersei vibes. That part sticks out tremendously because in Blake and Taylor's text messages after the meeting, Blake said, "I have never felt more like Khaleesi. I have dragons, except my dragons are bred by Cersei herself."
I love like Game of Thrones, figuring out theories and clues and things like that. So I think the more we can have that social and discussion element to music, the more fun it is for people.
Oh my God, have you watched Game of Thrones yet? GOT, as we all call it. You watched it?
I literally just watched the new episode before I got on the phone with you. Oh my God.
Okay.
It's literally the most beautiful episode I've ever seen. And the score is so exquisite, and the visual effects and the acting and the battle sequences. Like, I don't want to be like that person who spoils anything, so I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just have like a real wild ride just ahead of you. I'm so happy about like the quality content we're getting from Game of Thrones.
So when you reread the text between Taylor and Blake when they were laughing it up, how Justin was just eating up everything that Taylor was saying, puts it all into a different perspective. I think all three of these people, after Justin left, were just laughing it up and thinking of what they could say next to Justin through Blake. And Blake just went along with it. She's trying to seem cool in all of their eyes. That's what I think happened. I think it was Blake that sent the text message, but she had two people in her ear telling her to do so. But what do you guys think of this? And who do you think sent the dragon text? As always, this is all alleged, so take it with a grain of salt and follow me for more.